such an expansive game, Oblivion gives you the option to tackle combat the way you see fit. No matter your preference, you can summon creatures, cast spells, launch arrows, berserk, or silently end a fight before it begins. However, no matter your style of combat, they all directly benefit from alchemy. Using the plants and flesh you procure in your adventures for potions is highly beneficial. With alchemy, mages can replenish their low magicka reserves, warriors can hit harder, rogues and archers can kill enemies in one shot, and everyone can heal their wounds on the fly. Alchemy is additionally a method of making a tidy profit. Even when you can't find a good use for potions you can make, you can always sell them off for a good bit of gold. What you can make as an alchemist is dependent upon your alchemy level. The art is divided into 5 levels of mastery: Novice 0 to 24, Apprentice 25 to 49, Journeyman 50 to 74, Expert 75 to 99, and Master 100. Each ascending level allows you to see and utilize one additional effect that ingredients will have when mixed together. To make potions, you first need at the very least a mortar and pestle. You can find them at various alchemy shops, inside houses, or chiefly the mages' guild halls. If you want your potions to be more powerful, you can also use a retort, alembic, and calcinator, though it's your choice if you want to carry the extra weight. In order to mix a potion, select any alchemic equipment in your inventory. You'll also need to have at least 2 ingredients with the same effect. The larger number of effects that they have in common, the more powerful the potion will be and worth when sold. The number of potions that you can make at a novice level of 24 and under is very limited, so the first thing you should try to do is raise your alchemy level. Alchemy is by far the easiest skill to raise in rapid succession. There are several places in Cyrodiil that you can harvest ingredients in excess amounts right from the beginning of the game. Easy places you can acquire ingredients right away are Whitman Farm just north of the Anvil North Gate, Odile Farm southeast of Wayne and Priory, Harlan's Watch south of Shadenhall, and the Vineyard Fields just outside of Skingrod's West Gate. By picking these farm fields clean, you'll have a substantial amount of food to create potions with and raise your alchemy level. Additionally, if you join the Mages and Fighters guilds, they each have their own hall in every city with a full stockroom of food that you can raid as well. Using all these food ingredients, you can create multiple Restore Fatigue potions and make a hefty profit, while at the same time raising your alchemy skill at a breakneck pace. Moving on, the most important thing about being an alchemist is being able to mix very useful potions that will aid you in combat. The potions you mix that give you positive benefits work differently from those that you find in loot caches. The potions you find will restore magicka and health instantly, but the potions you make will restore these elements over time and by a greater amount than their instantly effective counterparts of the same power level. The most basic and important potions and poisons you can make are those that restore your health and magicka or damage that of your enemies. Finding the necessary ingredients can be a bit of a hassle, but the payoff is well worth it. First off is a potion of Restore Health. At a novice level of 24 and under, the most reasonable ingredients available in the base game are Cairn Bullet Caps, Lady's Mantle Leaves, and Vincent. Cairn Bullet Caps can be found in nearly any cave in Cyrodiil. Remember, mines, forts, and ruins aren't caves, so there's no guarantee that you'll find any in those areas. Lady's Mantle Leaves can be found mostly in a wide area between Anvil and Kvatch. Vincent, though, while not being hard to find, isn't too easy to acquire. Killing any deer that you see wandering around the world will yield Vincent, but getting close enough to attack them can be a bit of a hassle. If you truly wish to use this ingredient, I suggest you learn to be a good shot with a bow. At the higher level of Journeyman 50, making health potions is much easier. Fire Mania caps can be found in excess all over the Imperial City with little effort, so stocking up on them is quite easy. The second ingredient is Lavender Sprigs, which can be found in reasonable amounts west, south, and southeast of Breville. Southeast is prime because it's rich with other very useful ingredients. Also, lavender can be found around and extensively to the south of Shadenhall. Now for Restore Magicka. The most important and primary ingredients right from the novice level is Flax Seeds. Flax can be found in ample supply in the fields around the city of Skingrad. The second ingredient is Steel Blue and Tolma Caps, which can be found in 2 primary locations. The easier one is along the Orange Road northeast of Coral, and the more difficult one is off the Gold Road in the Great Forest northeast of Skingrad. When searching for Steel Blue Caps, keep in mind that they are very short and difficult to find because they can't be seen above other vegetation on the ground. There are 2 other ingredients available at the Journeyman level 50, but their frequency of being seen is so small that there's no point in showing the few places that they can be found. First is the Water Hyacinth, which is found only in shallow water, and second is the Bach Beacon, found primarily in Blackwood, south of the Nibbin Bay and Panther River. Next up are poisons, which can be less useful depending on your gameplay style, but nonetheless still worth mention. Brewing poisons of damage health isn't truly available until you reach the level of Apprentice 25, unless you use the elements found on the Plains of Oblivion. First ingredient at Novice is Nightshade, which can be found in excess supply in the West Weald, north of the Elswire border. Second, at Apprentice 25 is Sacred Lotus Seeds, which can be easily found in the ponds around the gates between districts in the Imperial City. Additionally, there's St. Jan's Wort Nectar and Dragon's Tongue, which can both be harvested in good amounts in Country Breville. or what I like to call the garden, since the area has so many useful plants. When it comes to poisons of damage magicka, ingredients are scant and scarce. There are only 2 that are really in supply, and even then only at Journeyman 50. Those would be bergamot seeds found in the previously mentioned garden, as well as the same general location of steel blue entolma caps, and rat meat, primarily found in the sewers of the Imperial City. There's also wheat grain found in random grain sacks, and aloe vera, which grows in light volume everywhere west of Kvatch. That should be it, but there is one additional potion that's worth brewing, and since it can be made from ingredients already described, it's totally worth mentioning. In order to make a potion of feather, you can use flax and venison at Apprentice 25 and sacred lotus seeds at Journeyman 50. Remember, I just mentioned those ingredients earlier, so rewind the video to find out where to get them if you're interested. Finding ingredients can be exhaustive work, but the payoff is typically well worth it. And as long as you keep an eye out for plants you know are worth harvesting, the trouble you have to go through becomes minimal.